Hey friend, how are you today? Do you know that the majority of people, they're not doing anything super exceptional that other people talk about? Do you know that most of the news are filled or things in social media with people who do something that is either extraordinary, could be a crazy thing, could be a daring, or could talk about a person who dares to be different than others. And especially about this last one, when we live in this time in the West where we are trying to make consensus like God, that we all need to agree. So whoever is that person or the group that says something, and that thought or that idea or that brand becomes like more mainstream, is requiring everyone else to be the same. That could be in the way you dress, it could be in the way you do music, you could do life, with whom you marry, when you marry, how much money you make, what kind of job you do, and what is more important is about ideas. And that is was a crazy thing. And what I think is more important, when people have different ideas at others, usually people keep their ideas for themselves, or they can talk with one or two people because they don't want to give the perception in the wild world that they might be different, or they are seeking to be different than what people think that they are. So most of people keep their head down, and they don't want to be somebody who brings change. They don't want to be somebody that people talk about. As my dad used to say during that crazy time of communism, he said, don't be the last one and don't be the first one. And that is something that has stuck with me. But when I read the Bible and I read about these characters that were different, they had an experience, they had something that happened in them, and they dare to live differently, they dare to speak differently, then people even today talk about them. And one person that I think about a lot is Stephen or Stefan. This guy was a deacon in the first church in Jerusalem. And then one of those days, he went to talk about his experience, his understanding of scriptures about who Jesus is. And knowing that people will not like that because the majority of people around him disagree with his revelation. But nevertheless, he spoke about that. And he even went to debates, because sometimes when you are on the side of truth, you need to be strong and to talk in a way that might convince some people who maybe are not thinking about those lines and topics. And they killed him. And surely, he was not angry with them. Even he prayed, Lord Jesus, forgive their sins, because they have no clue what they're doing. And that's happened. There are people who dare to be who they are, to be themselves, and the crowd will say stuff to them. So they will say that, how you dare to be different? How you dare to go across this river? What do you think, that we that aren't crossing the river, we are not good as you? We don't have faith like you? Or is something that you want to show us? So there are people that stay in the crowd. They'll throw words to anyone who dares to be different. And those words might be discouraging. Those words may put certain people down, and many return and go back to the normal. Even they don't like it, they say, is no way how I can be different. But there are people who choose to cross that river of impossibility. They choose to believe and to act what they believe. And you know what happened? Those people start new communities. They start new movements. And many of those people who are in the crowd, sometimes they join them because they say, wow, we're looking for something genuine, something real, something that's working. And this guy or those group of people, they have it. We are joining even with a second or third wave. We're joining later. So friend, my encouragement to you today is to be yourself. And that is difficult to be, because sometimes we don't know who we are. We are what other people tell us who we are, and what we convince ourselves who we are. If as a Christian, and I speak to both Christians and non-Christians, I think God has a vision and a plan for our life individually, And then when we dare to believe it and to act it out, I believe will be a life changer for us and also for others. And every time, Jesus said, all these blessings will come to those who follow me, to believe me. Those blessings together with persecutions. So persecutions come in different colors, different forms, but they come every time you want to be different. So the choice is ours. I want to be different, not because I'm tired with the past, but I believe that God has called me to do something different. And that different is better than what I've been living the last year, last 6 months, or last 6 years. And I'm in the progress. I'm in the journey to become somebody who uses his time, his gifts better for God, for my family, and for the community. And I'll invite you to think about that. Think about that, and God bless you.